Have you ever noticed how some people manage to keep their homes always looking fresh as if they just moved in, while others constantly struggle against clutter and mess? Today, I'm going to show you the daily habits that make all the difference between a home that looks abandoned and one that radiates renewed energy every single day. If you've made it here, it's probably because you're tired of spending hours cleaning on weekends, or maybe you've visited someone's house and wondered how they managed to keep everything so organized and welcoming. The truth is, there's a secret behind this, and it has nothing to do with having more time or money. It has to do with small habits that, when applied daily, create surprising results. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover 10 simple strategies that organized people use every day without even realizing it. These are techniques that take just a few minutes, but make your home look completely new, always. And best of all, you won't need to turn your routine upside down. But pay attention. If you don't apply these tips, you'll continue in that frustrating cycle of cleaning, messing up, cleaning again. You'll waste even more time on weekends doing heavy cleaning that could have been avoided. And worst of all, your home will never have that welcoming atmosphere you so desire. So stay with me until the end, because the last tip makes the biggest difference, and I bet you've never thought of it. Tip 1. Make your bed. As soon as you wake up, the first thing you need to understand is that a home with a fresh look starts in your bedroom, and it all begins with a very simple habit: making your bed as soon as you get up. It might seem silly, but this gesture has incredible power to transform the entire environment. When you make your bed first thing in the morning, you're sending a message to your brain that the day has started in an organized way. The bedroom automatically looks cleaner and tidier, even if other things are out of place. It's as if you've taken the first step to keeping the entire house in order. But there's a trick here that makes all the difference. It doesn't need to be a magazine-perfect bed. Just pull the sheet, adjust the comforter, and put the pillows in place. 2 minutes maximum. The important thing is to create this habit consistently every day, without exception. You know what the most surprising benefit of this is? When you come home at the end of the day, especially when you're tired or stressed, finding your room tidy brings an immediate feeling of tranquility. It's as if the house is welcoming you with open arms. And there's more. Making the bed creates a domino effect. When you see the room organized, you naturally feel like keeping the rest of the house in the same line. It's pure psychology. An organized environment encourages you to continue organizing other spaces. Many people say it's not worth making the bed because they'll mess it up again at night. But think about it this way. You don't brush your teeth only once in your life just because you'll dirty them again, right? A made bed keeps the room looking clean all day long. Start tomorrow. When you wake up, before going to the bathroom, before coffee, make your bed. The first few days might feel strange, but in a week, you'll notice how this small gesture changes the energy of your room and, consequently, your entire home. Tip 2. Use the 2-minute rule. Now I'm going to teach you a rule that will revolutionize how you see home organization. It's the 2-minute rule, and it's more powerful than any cleaning product you could buy. The rule is simple. If any task takes 2 minutes or less to complete, do it right away. Don't leave it for later. It sounds obvious, but most people completely ignore this strategy, and that's why clutter accumulates. Let me give you some practical examples. You finished using a plate, wash it right away, don't leave it in the sink. Took off your clothes, put them in the laundry basket, or hang them in the closet immediately. Received mail, open it, read it, and decide what to do with it right then. What happens when you don't follow this rule? That pile of clothes on the chair keeps growing. The sink fills up with dishes. Papers accumulate on the table, and by the end of the week, you have hours of accumulated work. But when you apply the 2-minute rule, something magical happens. Your home never gets really messy. Sure, there might be one thing or another out of place, but never that chaos that takes hours to resolve. The key is changing your mindset. Instead of thinking, I'll do this later, ask yourself, does this take less than 2 minutes? If the answer is yes, do it now. It's faster to do it right away than to come back and do it later. There's a psychological benefit to this too. Each small task you complete immediately gives a sense of accomplishment. You don't carry that mental list of pending things weighing on your mind, and your home always maintains that organized feel. Start by observing how many 2-minute tasks you leave for later during one day. You'll be surprised. Then start applying the rule gradually. Soon enough, it will become automatic. Tip 3. Have a specific place for everything. One of the main reasons homes get messy is because things don't have a fixed place to stay. When you come home with keys in your hand, where do you put them? on the table, on the sofa, on the kitchen counter. If the answer changes each day, there's the problem. For your home to always look fresh, every object needs a fixed address. Keys always on the same hook by the door, the remote control always in the same spot on the coffee table, glasses always in the same place on the nightstand. This might seem excessive, but it makes a huge difference. When everything has its place, you never need to look for anything. And more importantly, when you use something, you know exactly where to return it. Start with items you use every day. Choose a specific location for keys, wallet, glasses, phone charger, medications you take regularly. Create small, organized stations around the house. For example, at the entrance, have a spot just for keys and mail. In the bedroom, a small table or drawer just for glasses and watch. In the kitchen, a specific corner for the utensils you use most. The secret is consistency. It's no use defining a place for keys if half the time you throw them anywhere. In the first few days, you'll need to consciously monitor yourself, but after a few weeks, it will become automatic. An extra tip: when you're going to put something away, don't place it for now just anywhere. Either you put it in the right place or you leave it where it is and put it away properly later. This for now story is what creates piles of objects around the house. And remember, a place for everything doesn't mean you need expensive organizers or complicated solutions. Sometimes a small basket, a drawer, or even a corner of the table solves the problem. Before we continue, if this video is helping you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any tips. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I love knowing where our viewers are. Now let's continue. Tip 4. Practice cleaning. While you cook, the kitchen is the heart of the home, and it's also the place that gets messy the fastest. But there's a simple technique that will keep your kitchen always clean without needing hours of cleaning afterward. Clean while you cook. Most people have the habit of cooking and leaving all the mess for later. Result: a sink full of pots, splashes on the stove, ingredients scattered across the counter. And then, after eating, you still have to face all this confusion. But people who keep their homes always looking fresh do it differently. They clean during the cooking process. While water boils, they wash the utensils already used. While something is in the oven, they wipe the counter. While waiting for seasoning to set, they organize ingredients. Let me give you a practical example. You're going to make simple pasta. While the water heats up, you can already wash the knife you used to cut the seasonings. When you put the pasta in the pot, clean the splashes from the stove. When you're going to drain it, quickly wash the pot with hot water. The result? When you finish eating, you'll have at most the plate and utensils to wash. The kitchen is already practically clean. It's a total energy change. There's a trick here that makes it much easier. Always have a clean, damp cloth handy while cooking. Any splash or dirt, you clean it right away. It's much easier to clean something fresh than to wait for it to harden. Another strategy is to use a bowl or bag as a temporary trash while cooking. All peels, packaging, and scraps go directly there. At the end, just dispose of everything at once. And don't forget, wash things with hot water whenever possible. Grease and food remains come off much more easily with hot water. Leaving them soaking in cold water only complicates things. Tip 5. Do a quick round before sleeping. There's a habit that separates people who always have organized homes from those who live in a rush. Doing a quick round of the house before going to bed. It's just 10 minutes that make a gigantic difference the next day. The idea is simple. Before retiring to your bedroom, take a walk through the main areas of the house and put basic things in their place. You don't need to deep clean, just organize quickly. Start with the living room. Put the sofa cushions in place. Fold the blanket you are using. Put the remote controls on the table. Take glasses to the kitchen. 2 or 3 minutes maximum. Then go through the kitchen. If there are any dirty dishes left, put them to soak. Quickly wipe the counter. Put away items that are out of place. Close cabinet doors that were left open. Take a look at the main bathroom. Hang towels properly. Put hygiene products in place. Close the toilet lid. 1 more minute. Finally, see if there's nothing scattered on the floor or in strange places. Clothes, shoes, bags, papers, everything in its basic place. What happens when you do this every night? You wake up in a tidy environment. You don't have that feeling of chaos first thing in the morning. Your home always seems ready to receive visitors. And there's an incredible psychological benefit. Sleeping in an organized house improves sleep quality. Your mind relaxes when the environment is in order. It's as if you're ending the day positively. Many people complain that they come home tired and don't want to do anything else. I understand perfectly. But think about it this way. These 10 minutes at night will save you much more time and stressed the next day. And it doesn't need to be perfect. If one day you're exhausted, just do the basics. The important thing is to maintain the habit. Over time, it will become so automatic that you won't even notice you're doing it. Tip 6. Use strategic baskets and organizers. Now I'm going to show you how to use organizers intelligently without spending a fortune and without complicating your life. The secret isn't having 1,000 organizing products, but using few in the right places strategically. First, forget those elaborate solutions you see on the internet. Organization that really works is simple and practical. You need organizers that make your life easier, not create more work. Start by identifying the critical points in your home, those places where things always accumulate. It could be the entrance table where keys and mail stay, or that bedroom chair where clothes pile up, or the kitchen counter where everything ends up. For the house entrance, a simple tray or small basket solves it. That's where keys, wallet, sunglasses stay. When you arrive, put everything there. When you leave, take everything from there. Simple as that. In the bedroom, a basket on the floor solves the problem of clothes that aren't dirty but aren't clean either. You know those pieces you wore briefly and can wear again? Instead of throwing them on the chair, put them in the basket. In the living room, a decorative basket can hold remote controls, magazines, chargers. It looks nice and functional at the same time. When you need to clean the table, just put everything in the basket temporarily. In the kitchen, use transparent containers to store items you always use. Coffee, sugar, cookies. Besides keeping everything organized, you always know when you're running out. The secret is choosing organizers that match your routine. There's no point buying something beautiful if it's complicated to use. The best organizer is one you use without thinking. And remember, organizer isn't a mess drawer. If you put everything carelessly inside it, it won't work. Use with criteria. Each organizer should have a specific function. A money-saving tip. Before buying anything, look at what you already have at home. That shoebox can become a drawer organizer. That glass jar can store hair clips. Be creative. Tip 7. Always keep surfaces free. One of the trademarks of a home that always looks fresh is free surfaces. Living room table, kitchen counter, nightstand, sideboard. When these surfaces are always clean and organized, the entire home gains a more spacious and welcoming appearance. The problem is that these surfaces become magnets for lost objects. You come home and put your bag on the table, then you put groceries, then papers, and when you realize it, the table has become a storage area. The rule is simple. Surfaces are for using, not for storing. The living room table is for supporting what you're using at the moment, not to be a permanent storage area. The kitchen counter is for preparing food, not for accumulating objects. So how do you keep surfaces always free? First, define what can permanently stay on each surface. On the living room table, there can be a vase with flowers and a remote holder. Done. Everything else needs to come off at the end of the day. On the kitchen counter, only items you use daily can stay. Coffee maker, sugar container, maybe a holder for basic utensils. The rest goes to cabinets and drawers. On the nightstand, only the essentials. Lamp, maybe a glass of water, glasses if you wear them. Books, magazines, medications that aren't for daily use should have another place. The trick is creating the habit of clearing surfaces every day. When you finish using the table for anything, leave it free again. When you finish cooking, leave the counter free. There's an incredible practical benefit to this. Free surfaces are much easier to clean. Wiping an empty counter takes seconds. On a counter full of objects, you waste a lot of time removing and replacing things. And there's the visual benefit. Environments with clean surfaces look bigger, more organized, and more welcoming. It's as if the house breathes better. If you have difficulty keeping surfaces free, start gradually. Choose one surface per week to focus on. When you can keep one always clean, move to the next. Before we continue, let me tell you something quickly. If you want to earn real extra income, working from home and learning something that can become a profitable business, I prepared a complete guide where I show you how to create handmade soaps from scratch, which ingredients to use, and even how to sell to win customers. The link is in the first pinned comment. And attention, the special discount is only for channel subscribers and for very few days. After that, the price returns to normal. Now, let's continue with the video. Tip 8. Create cleaning routines by rooms. A home that always looks fresh isn't the result of heavy weekend cleaning sessions. It's the result of small cleaning routines distributed throughout the week. And the secret is dividing by rooms, not trying to clean everything at once. The idea is to associate each day of the week with a specific room. Monday, bathrooms; Tuesday, bedrooms; Wednesday, living room, and so on. But attention, I'm not talking about heavy cleaning. I'm talking about basic maintenance. On Monday, you dedicate 15 minutes to bathrooms. Wipe the mirrors, clean the sink, do a quick pass on the toilet and floor. Organize hygiene products, change towels if necessary. On Tuesday, focus on bedrooms, vacuum or sweep the floor, dust the furniture, organize clothes that were out of place. 15 to 20 minutes per room, maximum. On Wednesday, the living room. Vacuum the sofa, clean the coffee table, dust the bookshelf, organize decorative objects, mop the floor. What happens when you follow this routine? Your home never gets really dirty. When the weekend comes, you don't have hours of cleaning ahead of you. You can truly enjoy your free time. And there's more. Since you're always taking care of one room at a time, you can pay attention to details. You notice when something needs repair, when some product is running out, when it's time to replace something. Many people resist routines because they think it will become a boring obligation. But the truth is the opposite. When you have a routine, you don't need to keep thinking, what do I need to clean today? You already know, it's automatic. And if one day you can't follow the routine, no problem. Skip that day and resume the next. The important thing is maintaining general consistency, not being too rigid. Adapt the routine to your reality. If you work outside all week, concentrate activities on days when you have more time. If you have small children, involve them in age-appropriate tasks. Tip 9. Apply the one-in, one-out rule. One of the main reasons homes fill up with unnecessary things is because we constantly acquire objects, but rarely get rid of what we no longer use. The one-in, one-out rule will solve this definitively. The rule is simple. Whenever something new enters your home, something similar must leave. Bought a new shirt? Choose one you don't wear anymore to donate. Got a book? Pass along one you've read and don't plan to reread. This applies to everything: kitchen utensils, cleaning products, decoration, electronics. The idea is to maintain constant balance, avoiding excessive accumulation. But attention, it doesn't need to be exactly item for item. If you buy 3 shirts on sale, you can donate 3 you don't use anymore. The important thing is maintaining general balance. This rule has incredible benefits. First, you really stop to think before buying something. Do I really need this? What will I remove to put this in its place? This prevents impulse purchases. Second, your home never gets stuffed with things. There's always space in closets, drawers, and shelves. You don't need to keep pushing objects to manage to store something new. Third, you always have things to donate. Instead of doing those gigantic annual cleanings, you donate little by little, constantly. Other people benefit from what you no longer use. And there's a psychological benefit. Living with fewer things, but things you really use and like, brings much more satisfaction than having closets full of forgotten items. Start applying this rule one category at a time. First with clothes, then books, then household utensils. Gradually it will become automatic. And remember, donating doesn't mean discarding just anything. Donate items in good condition that can really be useful to other people. It's a way to do good while organizing your home. Tip 10. Refresh the environment with simple changes. The last tip is about how to make your home look renewed without spending money. Small changes in decoration and organization can completely transform the energy of an environment. Start by moving decorative objects around. That vase that always stayed on one table, try putting it in another corner. That living room picture, how about taking it to the bedroom? This simple swap already gives a feeling of novelty. Rearrange furniture when possible. Sometimes, just changing the sofa position or turning the table sideways creates a totally different perspective of the environment. You'll be surprised how your home can look new just with this. Change the arrangement of objects on shelves and bookcases, put books in different order, move picture frames around, reorganize decorations. It's free and transforms the look. Refresh the houseplants. If you have wilted or dry plants, replace them with others. If you don't have plants, add some. Plants bring life and freshness to any environment, and you can get cuttings for free from neighbors and friends. Move cushions and throws around. The cushion that was on the sofa can go to the armchair. The bedroom throw can go to the living room. Colors and textures in different places create a feeling of renewal. Reorganize environments by function. If you always work at the living room table, Try working in the bedroom or kitchen for a few days. You'll discover new corners of your home and give new uses to spaces. Do a deeper cleaning in a specific corner you never pay attention to. It could be a drawer, a closet, a shelf. When you reorganize a space that's been messy for a long time, the entire house seems cleaner. And here's the final secret. Make these changes periodically. Once a month, dedicate a morning to reorganizing some elements of the house. You don't need to change everything, just some details. Your home will always have that air of novelty, of being cared for, of being renewed. People will notice and ask if you did some renovation, and you'll know the secret was in these small, constant adjustments. Now you have all the tools to keep your home always looking fresh, using only simple habits that fit into your routine. These aren't complicated techniques or expensive products. They're small attitudes that, practiced consistently, create surprising results. Remember, an organized home isn't a matter of luck or having lots of free time. It's a matter of intelligent habits applied in daily life. Start with 1 or 2 tips that make the most sense for your reality and gradually incorporate the others. Your home is your refuge, the place where you recharge your energy to face the world. When it's always tidy and welcoming, your quality of life improves incredibly. You feel calmer, more productive, and happier. So the challenge I leave for you is this. Choose 3 of these tips and start applying them today. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for next month. Start now. And tell me in the comments which of these strategies you found most interesting and which you'll test first. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, take this opportunity to do it now and turn on notification bells. Every week I bring practical tips to improve your quality of life at home. Your fresh home awaits you. Just start.